Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nenna, and today we're back with another episode of the Not So Berry Challenge. I made a small mistake in the last episode. See, for some reason, I thought that Tim and Tilly were a thing, and true they were, but Tim was actually Julie's boyfriend. For some reason, I forgot that Tim and Julie were a thing before Tim and Tilly, and I didn't realize this until after I uploaded things, and I just started thinking, something feels off. What is it? And I realized the big mistake that I made in the last episode. Yep, things just got a lot more complicated. I actually want her to stop bothering and perhaps study with. She's studying. Yes. So we're gonna join her group research. I just want her to stop trying to bother Tim because honestly, it's not worth our time. Poor Julie. Now she's doing fine right now. I think she's trying to be strong and big, and especially in front of Tim, she doesn't want to show her emotions. But poor Julie has her heart broken. It's that she needs a good grade and she wants to graduate. Otherwise, she would probably just stay in her room and lay in bed all day. But I think the stress of college is really just helping her move on. And it's nice to have a friend like Rosie, and the two of them really are bonding even more now that everything has happened. But basically, let me enlighten you about what has happened. So Tim decided that he didn't really want to be as committed as I thought that he wanted to be. And him and Julie were this perfect couple for most of the years on campus. You guys know that through freshman year, especially freshman year, they were hitting it off so fast. Even through their sophomore years. In the second year, they were still a couple, and I was so happy for them. And then everything changed in the junior year of college. For some reason, just one day, him and Tilly were a thing. Left Julie for what it was. It was honestly so strange, uncalled for, and like, look at the little cute face. She is so sweet. I feel like she's also just filling around on some beans because like this can't be about those numbers, girl. Like you should know by now. For some freaking weird reason, he decided to dump Julie. At first, he didn't dump her. He just started to mingle with Tilly until it kind of grew out of hand, and he liked her so much more than Julie because Julie was just a little bit boring at times. She was a bit weird, and I thought this guy was past all of that. I thought he accepted people for who they were, and all of a sudden I see him smooching with Tilly and him being just a douche, right? Just a big old douche, deciding that Tilly is more beautiful and more worth it and whatever not. It could be that Tilly has seduced the man. I'm not gonna put it past anyone because let's think about it, right? He did some questionable things before, and now he's in a relationship with Julie, and then he gets together with Tilly, and he smooched with Rosie in between. And Rosie, right? Poor Rosie. Rosie was feeling almost sorry for I'm saying almost very lightly, almost sorry for Tilly, right? Almost. But she totally, I totally forgot that she was in a relationship, or he was in a relationship with Julie. And I feel bad now because Rosie would never intentionally hurt Julie. Like, that was never my intention. She would have never done that. And I feel really bad now. Technically, I was going to say Pepper again. I'm sorry. It's probably going to happen way more often. But Rosie has technically cheated Julie. Like, I feel so bad for her. And she has to confess this. Tilly knows. Tilly found out, but Tilly doesn't care. I don't know. I'm like, once I realized this, I'm like, what? What do you mean she doesn't care? How does she not care? It's her boyfriend. But she basically. Oh wait, well, let's backtrack first. Should we talk about Julie first or Tilly? Let's do Tilly real quick. So Tilly found out that him and Rosie had kissed because Tim couldn't stop bragging about it. pretty much. I'm like, what is there to brag about, sir? Like, it's not like you put your peen in her. All you did was, you know, exchange some saliva. Like that was it, right? You didn't even do anything spicy. You just gave her her first kiss and that was it. And by the way, she did it to get back at you, which is a bit of a weird way to get back at someone, but at the same time, it makes sense because, like I said, she vowed to take everyone's man, and that was the man that got away. So I get it. After he opened his big mouth, Tilly kind of confronted him and said, okay, this cannot be happening. And he explained that it was actually Rosie that came on to him, which was just so freaking predictable. This guy coming up with a whole ass lie. Yeah, she came on to me and I tried pushing her away, but she's just very demanding. You know, I love you, baby. Like things like that. And it was just, honestly, I don't know how Tilly fell for that, but she did. She was like, oh, really? Oh, so you didn't kiss her back? She's like, no, baby, I didn't. I would never do that to you. And then, kind of funny, under the same breath, he kind of confessed to still seeing Julie, and Julie hasn't really, you know, caught up on things, especially because she's been really busy. They haven't had time for each other, and that happens when you're in college. You don't always have time for each other. I swear, did you lose or... Why do you put your homework there, girl? But you know, Tilly is a little, how do we say this? A little oblivious, and I didn't think that Julie was oblivious, but I think, like I said, she was just so busy with everything, right? She was so busy with studying and learning and turning on the stereo, yes, every night religiously. She was just so busy with things. Even Rosie didn't see her at all, or at most maybe like once every few days, which wasn't much, like just for lunch perhaps, or in class. So it wasn't like they really had time to see each other. But obviously Tim and Tilly see each other often because they have the same classes and the same dorm, and obviously she, you know, she sleeps here as well. She sleeps next to Rosie, but like I said, she never really comes out of her room. She was just gone for a few days. I'm not even joking. She was gone for a few days. I'm like, Julie, where are you? Did I lock you outside? Like, where did you go? Did you get lost? Do you need some help? After that happened, Tim went to Julie and they scheduled a little date and they kind of kissed and whatever, did the whole dirty, and then after that he said that he wanted to break up. And it was kind of like Julie had expressed that she didn't really want to woohoo with him because she wasn't ready for that. Don't even try, girl. She said she wasn't ready for that. Julie had expressed that she wasn't ready for that step yet, and she didn't really want to lose it at campus, at college. She wanted to wait until they got their own place and just make it really special. It was just something she really cared about. Even though she's adventurous, she still has her own morals and rules that she lives by, which I can respect. And Tim kind of talked her into it and said, you know what? I think we should just do it. I don't know how, but he smooth talked her into it. Then she ended up woohooing with him. And that same night after it happened, Tim basically said, you know what? I don't think this is going to work, and left. And Julie was absolutely broken. She went to Pepper's dorm. She cried. And I said Pepper again. It's fine. Rosie opened the door and she just comforted Julie through the entire night. And Rosie was kind of like, it was awkward because she was like, oh gosh, I kissed her boyfriend, but Tim said that he was with Tilly. So it wasn't exactly like she knew that him and Julie were broken up. I mean, she didn't ask Julie, but she kind of just assumed that that was the case because Tim was with Tilly all the time. And like I said, he claimed that Tilly was his girlfriend, and Rosie then kind of stole him from her. You know, like, you know the story. So it is really complicated. But after that, that's when Julie realized after seeing her and Tim together that was the reason, that he already had someone else, and that it wasn't that they weren't going to work out, it's that he didn't want them to work out. And she felt betrayed. She literally just lost her woohoo virginity. Woohoo virginity. She gave him literally everything she had because she thought that he was the one, and he genuinely meant what he said, and then he ended up just taking advantage of that, and she gave in all for nothing. And I think it's so shady. Like, he really just wanted some, And he knew he was gonna break up with her and he just wanted some before breaking up. Like, it's just ridiculous. Julie is just so hurt by everything. And knowing, that Haley is the reason, she just can't look at her the same. And Rosie's over there just on the toilet or in bed or whatever in the shower just thinking, oh my god, how am I gonna tell her that I kind of smooched her man as well? It's really complicated. It really is. Like, how are you gonna tell your best friend at this point that you smooched with her man, but you thought she was broken up, but yet he claimed so, but yet he wasn't, so technically you did something, it's very complicated and it makes her really uncomfortable, and she really doesn't know how to handle the conversation, how to even start this conversation. Like, how do you tell her that? How do you tell your best friend that? So it's something that she's been putting off, but I'm sorry I made that mistake in the last episode. That was so freaking random. Like, I really didn't think that was gonna happen. Now, talking about college and professors, and well, I wasn't talking about professors, but now I am. I am really going to kind of deepen the story. Oh, here he is, and I'm just gonna invite him over. So basically, what's going on with her and the professor, let's just say that he's been calling more often, coming over more often, and he started to demand more of her. Now, at first she was okay with it because she thought it was a little exciting, to say the least, and there were perks to everything, and she just had to keep him company, and she didn't really feel like a peck, I guess, was the end of the world. I mean, it's not like he was super attractive, but there was just something about him that in his presence she was just unable to say no, and she made her feel good, which really ended up helping. Good on you, Brittany. Go get her. It wasn't until a few days ago that she realized that she doesn't really know how to get out of this situation, and she doesn't really want to continue either. See, he wanted to see her after college, and he just started kind of touching her in just some inappropriate ways. I mean, appropriate ways too, like stroking her hair and, pulling away some hairs of her face. Some stuff happened that she didn't really want to, and she just didn't know how to say no, and she feels like it's spiraling out of control, and she doesn't really know how to break things off, and she wants nothing more than to cancel it and to just forget what happened. But until now, she has been a bit afraid to say what she wanted, to say that she did, or she doesn't. I guess she doesn't want to do this anymore. Then, even though it started super innocent, she has been taken advantage of. And I like to imagine that she would bring it up now because she's a senior. She's in her last year. She doesn't want this or to do this anymore. It's wise for her to just continue what they've already started. And it makes her feel really unheard and forced to do things that she doesn't really want to. But he kind of looks at her and chuckles and says, but isn't this who you are? Isn't this what you do? Look at the way you dress. Look at the way you act. Look at the rumors. I know exactly who you are, and I know that deep down you want this, you like this, you asked me to, you begged me for this. Why else are we doing this, Rosie? Why else did I choose you? You wanted this. You manifested me. Don't put the blame on me. So you want me to do this, risk my life, risk my job, risk everything, my career, my marriage for you? And now you want out? Do you even know how selfish that sounds? And that really, really, really messes with her head. And I feel like she would touch his face and just kind of almost unsure what to do, but still want to comfort him and say, I'm sorry, it's not how I meant it. And it is exactly what he wants. He is like all over her, and because of this he's telling her that he wants some more of her, and she's really unsure because she hasn't really made out with anyone. She just had a kiss and whatever not, and unfortunately we can't really, well, I mean, I could make the guy selectable. Let's just say he's forcing himself upon her, and he wants to go a little further, and he wants to make out, and he wants to, just, I mean, how do they say it? Like, when I was young, I don't know if they still say this, but when I was younger, when I was a teen, let's put that, when I was in high school, people would say, yeah, this is first base and second base and third base. And I think he wants to go to second base, or he's trying to get to second base. He's definitely trying to get third, but I'm not saying he's gonna get him. But he's trying though. And I think like she's going to be forced to go to, I mean, what is second base anyway? I think first base was a kiss, and I think third base is a woohoo. But what is second base? Do you feel the boobies? Like, do you just, grab your man by the man balls and just be like, hey, like, I don't know. I've never really thought about it like that. She doesn't really want to, but he just keeps on wanting more and more and more. And Rosie does express some disgust, a little bit of, I guess, rejection, which he just takes completely the wrong way. And he's mad at her and he says, you know what, if it's going to have to be like this, I don't want it. You're being so selfish, you're being so rude. I could just tear you apart. Do you know this? I could ruin your life. Don't mess with me. I know everything about you. I could get you kicked out of college right now. Like, don't even try anything. These threads might feel a little loose. I'm gonna put this in my inventory, baby. That's mine. I already have one. She is definitely not in the mood, and seeing Tilly just being a little bitch, it doesn't help. Oh, she started crying. She is so upset about all of this, and she just doesn't know what to do. Maybe we should go to Julie and tell her everything, Pepper. Maybe we should confide in her. But then if we want to confide in her, we're gonna have to tell her what happened. So we better choose a better location and pray for us. I'm gonna just give us all more energy, actually, just so that we can actually do this trip. So let me go and see if I can take my girl somewhere. Do I ask her on? See, oh, she doesn't want to be. Julie, oh, she feels bad. I can't even go anywhere because she just doesn't want to. Can I call her? Wait, let me just see if I can call her. Because if I can call her, I could just go to a lot and invite her. Maybe that'll work. I don't see Julie, to be honest. I don't think we have her number. In that case, what if in a moment of desperation, we decide to call Guy and just, I don't know. Hey, Guy, it's me, Rosie. She didn't want to say the truth that she was feeling a little upset and lonely and she didn't really have anyone to talk to, so she kind of lied and said, oh my god, I thought he was giving me a thumbs down. She kind of lied and said, yeah, no, oh, it's you? No, I totally meant to call someone else, but now that you're here, you wanna chat? Which he's like, you just called me. Like, what is it? Just spell it. And she's just like, well, now that you answered, I'm just asking for a friend. How would I... Well, my friend is seeing this older guy and he's totally blackmailing us, or blackmailing her, not me, of course, blackmailing her. And I wonder, what would you do to get her out of this situation? And Guy was like, he just literally paused for just a second and he was like, is this about you? And Rosie was kind of like, no, of course not. Why would I be in trouble? You know, why would someone do that to me? And he was just really silent, and then he just, in the sweetest, like, seriously, this guy's never been serious, but in his sweetest tone, picked up. My wing he already picked up, but you know he's gonna pick up another time. He's gonna pick up a second time. He just picked up the phone, silence, and then said, do you need help? And Rosie, in a freaking panic, just ended the call. She's like, holy frick. Oh my god, she's so nervous. She's like, oh my god, I just did something bad. What if he knows? But what if he knows? What does it matter if he knows? But what if he knows? She's just like freaking out. Poor Rosie. Yes, the sun is shining. Life's beautiful. I don't know. What's the song again? The sun is shining. I feel good. There used to be an advertisement on TV. Commercial, actually. On TV with that song. Anyway, we have 2 more days on campus and then we're gone, so I want to get a lot of story time, hopefully in this part and the next part. So what I'm gonna be doing is, hopefully once she comes back, have a little coffee sesh with the Julie and fix things. Okay, so she is back. Julie, would you like to go to have some coffee with me? There's something I need to talk to you about, and I really hope you won't get mad at me, but even if we do, it's totally fine. I think we really need to talk. Julie is just like, all right, let's go. Okay, we have arrived. This is the perfect place to kind of sit and just hang out. So I'm hoping she's going to sit next. With music, I thought about dancing, not about making music, but I guess it's fine. All right. Well, I would like her to sit, but I don't see her sitting. She's like, Julie, are you gonna sit down? This is kind of awkward. Julie, will you sit down, please? Okay. Well, if Julie's not gonna sit down, you wanted to steal my drink. That's it. I think she's gonna use the. Imagine I just say something. Julie, I have to tell you something, and it's more like a confession, and I really hope you don't get mad at me, but there's something I need to tell you. And Julie's being very open and very sweet, asking her, what's wrong? You can tell me anything. And Rosie's kind of like trying to find out the words and thinking, how am I going to tell my friend this? How am I going to explain to her that I just did like all of this with her boyfriend? And as she's trying to find the right words, something else just came out. Julie, your boyfriend, Tim, ex-boyfriend, Tim, and, Tilly, and the whole thing, and it kind of, she started talking like that, like stumbling over her words, being unsure, and just the uncertainty of everything. You could just hear it in her voice. And as she's about to say that, Julie, I kissed your boyfriend when I thought you guys weren't together, but you still were, and I'm so sorry. Instead, she blurts out that she's been seeing a professor, which just came like out of the blue. And Rose is just like, oh shit, what did I just do? I spilled the beans. You're seeing a professor? Julie asks, and Rose just kind of like, I guess. He's a mean guy, though. He makes me do things I don't want to do, and I don't know. Yeah, that sounds like a really bad person. Like, why didn't you just leave? Like, what made you want to hang out with the professor in the first place? It's like, well, I don't know. I just felt beautiful, and he said that he could help me with my studies and I could skip a few classes, and I don't know, just everything just seemed so perfect when he explained what he could do and what he wanted with me. And now I feel like I'm stuck. Things are just not really going the way that I want them. And Julie kind of sighs and says, man, that is some deep stuff. That's what was happening with you. I'm almost sorry that I didn't see it. I'm such a bad friend. And I was like thinking, oh my god, you're not a bad friend. There's someone in this world that's a bad friend. It's me. Listen, I hope you won't tell anyone, but I want to keep this a secret. I don't know. And Julie kind of looks at her friend with uncertainty and asks her if she's okay, if she's hurt, if she needs anything. And Rosie just says that yeah, she's fine. She's enjoying herself. There's nothing wrong. She just wanted to share that this is what she's been doing, and she was feeling a little lonely, and she wanted to I don't know, just I don't know. And Julie kind of chuckles and says, well, girl, I would have picked a cuter guy for you, maybe the guy or the other dude, I don't remember his name, but not this old man. But Rosie kind of jokes and says, well, I guess you just don't know him like I do, and there's more to looks than just, well, there's more to a person than just looks. His personality is great. She can barely say it, but his personality is great. She decides not to tell her friend the details about how she truly feels, but now that she's blurred it out, she also just wants to make sure, like, she wants to make sure she covers it up, and she, but still that she knows, like, she's happy that her friend knows, because it feels kind of nice talking to someone about it. You know what, I'm gonna have her drum, why not? It's been a while since we made music. Like, when we were teens, we used to make music all the time, but now we're, young adult, we never do it, which is such a shame. Like, we really do miss making music. And Rosie, like I said, she didn't mean to tell her friend about the professor. She meant to confess everything, and instead something else came out. And she's disappointed in herself because not only did she talk about a secret that she's kept for a few days now, or maybe weeks, I mean, maybe even semesters. I really don't know how long she's had this. Maybe a semester, maybe from her junior year to senior year. She decided to keep all the bad stuff to her, but yet the one thing that was most important to her, to tell Julie the truth about what she's done, that part she hasn't confessed and she doesn't know yet. And if she knows, if she finds out from anyone but her, it'll be horrendous. Oh, she's dancing to my music. Look at her. Go get it, Julie. Go, Julie. Oh my god, I am so happy that she was able to make a friend. I don't know if I want them to move in together. Like I said, I don't necessarily need roommates. The last time we had a roommate, things happened. So I'm not sure about that, but I mean, perhaps they could, and maybe after college, she could travel for a bit with Julie. Maybe that's fine. Like, they can be together and do travels together, something like that. But for the most part, I mean, that could be fun because then she's on holiday and there's other guys. We'll think about that. But yeah, she's very sad and very disappointed that she didn't end up confessing anything to her. But oh, it's still gonna happen. I'm planning like a final episode in college where not only there's something going to happen with the professor and Rosie is going to be either exposed or tell Julie what's happened, and obviously there's going to be a big fight somewhere, and one of the triplets, well, you probably know which one because it's always the same one that's doing something. One of the triplets has has decided she had enough and decides to ruin someone's life, and in the end it'll be difficult. Are we going to graduate? Are we not gonna graduate? What do you guys think? Trying to make it really suspicious, like really exciting and hidden. What is it with me and English lately? Thank you all so much for watching this part. A bit more of a storytelling part, but that being said, we are in our last 2 days of our final exam. So really, there isn't much for us to do. We got our skills. We just need to do a little bit of college work, but really, do you guys want to see that? Probably not. So I'm so excited to move on with everything. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!